Hey y'all. I was called to get on and kind of make a quick video as I was sitting here doing some stuff on YouTube, some editing and research and watching some of my favorite YouTubers. And I just got through watching one of Doe Dash's videos. I watch her almost every day because the energy is just so giving for me. It is so enjoyable to be in the presence of someone that is just, to me, I feel like kind and humble and just has a real sense of humility and transparency. And I love it. I love it. I mean, that's kind of the way I see myself. I've always told people that I wear my heart on my sleeve. What you see is what you get, right? Um, so I feel like DoorDash is does that for me. Like I get the same kind of energy that I value in people. I really do. So I was watching her video and I made a comment um, to her, just kind of, continue to encourage her, bless her with whatever her heart desires, right? As long as it's in alignment with all that is good, of course. And then after that video, I got a recommendation to watch another video. And the video was by another YouTuber that I had never heard of. Maybe y'all have seen it because so many people are responding to DoDash's success, it looks like. And I only became knowledgeable of DoDash like in the last month since I started my own YouTube journey. um, I was watching, I can't remember who it was that I was watching, but she turned me on to DoDash because she was highlighting some of her favorite YouTubers. And so from there, I went and, looked up these YouTubers, and DoDash was one of the people that I took on as, a fan. Like I'm her fan. So anyway, this video um, was saying, let's stop using DoDash's name, right? And the title of the video was kind of it kind of threw me off because I wasn't really sure what the video was going to be like. It sounded like it was going to say something to the effect of "Don't use DoDash's method" or whatever. I don't think DoDash even has a method, but that's the way the title sounded to me. So I was intrigued to hear that she was actually saying, like, putting a call out there for folks to stop putting DoDash's name in their titles, um, as if, they're trying to make money and kind of ride the wave of DoDash's success by using her name in their titles, right? Like that, it would bring you some extra views. And it just made me think for a minute. I read through the comments. Folks were saying, like, DoDash doesn't mind. It brings her publicity, right? And she's not that type of person where, she's just in it just for her own success. She likes to see other people win too. And so yes, I know that from watching her videos and based on what she says. But it just made me think this person's video saying like don't ride the DoDash wave, don't use her name for your own success. It just made me think, why not? Like what why not? And I don't mean it in the way, that a lot of people might take that when I say why not. When I say why not, I'm thinking about how connected we should be as people. And then I also think about how much we all contribute to who we are individually, right? And it's a bigger, it's happening on a bigger level than what we might actually see. Right? Sure, we don't all know each other personally. Sure, we may have never met each other, but there's an energy and a connectedness amongst all of us that we all benefit from, right? If we tap into it. So I think that for folks who are familiar with DoDash and all of these other big YouTubers for that matter, right? And folks who have been there and supporting these people, right? Like DoDash and people who have found a way to make some sense of YouTube, right? And like really start to see some benefits and change in their lives from being on the platform. If we have supported them, right? Even if it was in views and subscriptions and comments or subscribing and comments and positive feedback or negative feedback, because DoDash, when it comes to negative feedback, she's like, I'll take it. I'll take it because there's meaning behind it, behind that too. And I love that about her, by the way. But haven't we all supported some of these folks on their journeys? Don't we continue to support them? Right? It's like again, even if it's negative type of support, right? You know what they say? They say any publicity is good publicity, right? It gets your name out there. And so doesn't that type of support count for something? Doesn't it mean that as one of us succeeds, that we all can be connected on that journey to success or on that realization of success? I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I know I do have some YouTubers that I have watched from when they were just like me, right? I mean, 5 years ago, they were just like me, where I am now, barely starting their YouTube channel, a couple months into it, you know, had the minimal equipment, had minimal knowledge as to how the equipment worked, had even lesser amounts of knowledge when it came to how YouTube works. And they were just kind of feeling things out, but darn it, they were intentional and adamant on doing something, right? And so I have a lot of YouTubers like that that I've followed since day one. I mean, day one. And now I look at them and they're at 1 million subscribers and they are building mansions in other countries and starting their families. And they're also helping others as they're on their journeys. And I don't see it necessarily as a wrong thing. I don't see it as a one-dimensional thing to use that person's name, for someone to use that person's name as a catalyst as they embark on their journey, right? Now, the motives are definitely different for some people. Some people don't see it the same way that I see it. Some folks will just, do their research, find people that have lots of views and start name dropping, right? I'm not talking about name dropping. That's something different. Name dropping is something different. Although, like I said before, sometimes any publicity is good publicity, right? Depending on how you take it and how you look at it. But I'm talking about people like me who have been there, um, on somebody's journey with them, right? Like sharing in the emotions that are involved on the journey, right? I mean, of course, you can never feel what they're feeling and never understand what they're feeling as they have wins and, fails or whatever you want to call it, right? Or setbacks. But there's also some impact on the viewer's end, right? Where you are investing some type of energy in that person as they're on their journey as well. And so all I'm saying is it's a reciprocal relationship, I think. It can be. It doesn't have to mean that just because folks are using these names of these successful YouTubers like DoDash in their titles, it doesn't mean that they're simply just trying to climb up on her back on the way up the mountain, right? It can be that they feel like they are a part of this journey as well because they have been a part of the journey with her. right? It's not like any of us on YouTube are self-made, because that's what this video made it sound like, right? They made it sound like, oh, DoorDash has done a lot to, um, like she's worked hard to get where she is. And yes, I know she has. I've heard the stories. I've seen the older videos. I know what DoorDash is like, right? I DoorDash on the side too. I've never had to depend on it as a main source of income, but I've done it like as a side gig, so I know what it's like. It's hard work. It's all kinds of stuff that goes on behind the scenes of a DoorDash driver. I know, right? I mean, I know my experience, so I know it's hard work. And then couple that with trying to become a presence on YouTube, right? And all the work that goes into that and all of the mental work that goes into it. Um, I definitely can understand that there was certainly a lot of hard work for folks like Dodash, right? And Dodash herself. But I still don't see any of us or any of them as self-made, because guess what? Without the folks that are watching us, we don't really we don't really have anything on YouTube. Like I can't just get on YouTube and say, look at all the hard work I'm doing, and I've suffered through all of this, and I put in hours of learning how to do this, and blah 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 blah. And look, now I made it to this many subscribers and I'm getting paid. And how dare you try to ride my wave? Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think that that's I mean, I'm not going to say that's not a possible attitude to have about this whole thing, but I don't think it's a reasonable or a fair attitude to have. And I don't think Dodash has that attitude either. I think she realizes the connectedness. She says it. I appreciate everyone. I love you guys, talking to her subscribers, because she couldn't have done it without them. And that's really what it is. We can't do it as YouTubers without the people who are rooting us on, even if it's just a thumbs up or a comment, right? Or even if it is our secret fans who disguise their admiration in the form of an insult, or better yet, a whole video, right? About a YouTuber tearing down all the stuff that they did, and how they should do it differently next time, right? I mean, I heard another YouTuber this week say that he rejects that old saying that what is it? Let me think. Um, like when someone copies you, right? That's the highest form of flattery, right? I can't even think of the right word right now, but when someone copies you and tries to be like you, right, and mimics you, that is the highest form of flattery. He says, I reject that. I don't think that is a form of flattery. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. If you know what you're looking at, I think Dodash knows what she's looking at, right? Like I love the work that she's doing internally. I can tell she's doing a lot of self-reflection as she's on this journey, which is good, because when you get to a point where you are at the top of your class or you're moving up, right? And it can be your own class, but you're moving up, you're becoming seen. It can sometimes distract us to the point where we're not even seeing the whole picture anymore. We have such a narrow scope of vision, and we lose sight of what's really happening. And worse, we don't even take the time to sit and really reflect on who we are in this moment and what the moment means. But I think Dodash is doing that. So I can appreciate that about her, right? Like she realizes that folks who are out there talking about her, right? And trying to tear down the way that she does her thing, she realizes that, hey, get you some business, first of all, right? She said, don't mind my business, mind your business, right? And realize who you are. And then you don't need to do that to other people, right? Like she's seen the bigger picture and she's taking it and running with it too, right? Because again, it is still publicity and it is definitely flattery when folks are talking about you, right? And talking about you and trying to make it seem like they don't like you or or you're not doing it right or passing judgment. Connectedness. We're connected. So I think instead of looking at the folks who use big YouTubers' names in their titles or videos, or they mimic what these big YouTubers are doing in their viral videos. I think instead of looking at those things in a way where we assume that these folks are just trying to ride the wave or, um, you know, suck up some of the fame and the success from these hardworking individuals. What else could we say about it? What else could it be? How else can we look at it? Right? It is a interconnected circle of togetherness, right? We depend on each other. We have to have each other to exist, especially on this platform, because this platform has never been about a one person show where I'm posting my stuff and I don't need anybody to look at it for me to be successful. No, I need people to look at it because that's part of the game. That's part of the equation, right? One plus one equals two. One is me plus one, all the others who are watching and interacting and engaging equals two, the outcome that I want from being on YouTube. So, connectedness. That's the way that I choose to look at it.